So, welcome to the today's class. What we are going to see today is we are going to build a digital clock. Okay, we are going to build a digital clock. Today, it's just a small build. It will just hardly take 10 minutes to build this clock. So, what we are going to make? We are going to make a watch. Okay, we are going to make a watch which will show you the time, real time. So, let us start. So, what are the things you should know? Things you should know to make it. You should be aware of the concept of functions. You should be aware of the concept of selectors. Okay, how can we select elements? Dot inner HTML. You should know these 3 lines. Then it is very easy for us to make the watch. So let us start. Without wasting time, we'll go to the desktop folder. Here in going to web development folder. In projects, I'll just right click. I'll create a new folder. And new folder is digital clock. Okay, this is the new project. I will open this, right click, open with code. After opening with the code, just let me start with the index.html. I'll just write the boilerplate code. Okay, this is the simple boilerplate code. And I will come here. I'll just change the title to the digital clock. Okay, next I will take one h1 tag and I will give the ID to this. ID is equal to time. ID is equal to time, or else we can say display time is the ID. Okay, display time is the ID. It's not a function, it's an ID. Okay, this is the HTML code we require for making a clock. This is only the HTML code. We don't require any other tags, just one H tag to display the time. And we can just write one class. We can just write here a style tag. We can just use basic styling. Okay, we'll do the styling afterwards. First, let us make the logic. So for this making, I will just create a clock.js file. Okay, I will just right click here. I will just write the script source. The file name is clock.js. Okay, after linking the file, I can just test this with the console statement, console.log. I can just say, welcome to the clock. If I just run this index.html file in the live server, I can see nothing because there is nothing on my page. If I right click and inspect, I can see in the console tab, I can see this. I got the welcome to the clock from the clock.js line number 1. Okay, so let us make a clock. Let us make a function call. Let us make a function. I am writing with the function show time. The function name is show time. And with this function, before knowing the function, we can just learn the basic about the date and time. Okay, if I just write date, let us say we have a function d equal to new date. If you write this way, right? See, we get the time of today. We get the today's time, right? This time is in the string. If we just write d dot get date, okay, it will give me the 9th date. Okay, I can have the different functions. D dot get month, it will give me the month. The month starts from 0. So logically, this is 8th month because our counting starts from 0. So let us say we are having time function d dot get time. Okay, it will give you the milliseconds, but we don't know this. What we want, d dot, we need get hours, right? Get hours. I want to have the hours. Enter. It is 19 hours. Okay, 24 hours clock. D dot get minutes. Okay, I want to get the minutes. It is 17. And I want to get the seconds. Okay, I got the minutes, hours, and seconds. 3 functions on the date I applied, and I got the this many hours, this many minutes, and this many seconds. So applying the same logic, we can come to our code we'll just write let d equal to, let us say, new date. Okay, let d equal to new date. I will copy this. Next, what I'll do, I will just try to console.log this. Console.log d. Okay, I got the d. Next, I will just write console.log getting hours, comma. I can just write d dot get hours. Okay, I will duplicate this line. Instead of hours, now I need minutes. To make a clock, I need write minutes, hours, and seconds. Three things are enough for me. Then I can just write getting minutes. The third one is I need seconds. Okay, getting the seconds. To get the seconds, I just need to use this get seconds. Okay, let me just, if I call this show time function, I will call this function. If I see in console, I got the hours, minutes, and seconds. So now I don't want this way. I want them to be in the variables. Let us say we'll copy this. Okay, we'll just for your reference, I am just commenting them out, or else I can remove them. Okay, I'll keep them for your reference. I'll just take let HH is equal to hours is equal to d dot get hours. I will just call these functions. Okay. Now let minute equal to d dot get minutes. Simple, right? Next, let ss seconds is equal to d dot get seconds. Now I can just print them like this way. Console.log. I can just print. We can write HH, comma. We can write not required any line. We can write this way, comma. We can again write this way. Before this comma, we can write comma, and we can write comma ss. If we see this, you can come here. You can see this. We got this as a string, but we don't require this way. We'll make a new string. Okay, let us see how we can make it string. We'll use the let time equal to, we'll use this backticks, and we use dollar symbol to store the variables, colon, dollar symbol to store the variables, colon, and this way. And we can just write HH, and we can again write one more dollar symbol to print the seconds. Now, if I just console.log time, console.log, I can just the time. If I come here, see, I got the time, right? Hours, minutes, and seconds. If you keep refreshing, the seconds will changing. 32, 33, 35. They are updating, right? But I don't need this way. What I'll do, first, let me just get this ID. The ID is display time. I will copy this ID. I will come to here. I will just get this ID. Document dot get element by ID. What's the ID? This one is the ID. And I will just update dot inner HTML equal to time. That's all. Now, if I can see, it is 1 second. If I refresh 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and all this coming, right? So now this function is running only once, but I want this function to keep repeating. For that, you should know one function. The function name is set interval. Okay. Interval. If you write, you need to write which function you need to call. Okay. Comma. And in how many minutes or seconds you need to call. If you write 1000, right? It is 1 millisecond. Means 1000 means 1 second. Okay. If you write 1, means it will call 100 times a second. But we want 1 millisecond means you need to specify the time in the terms of milliseconds. In the terms of milliseconds. So let me just find out how many milliseconds. 1 second in milliseconds. If I just get this, I'll get the answer as 1000 milliseconds. If I just perform 1000 milliseconds there, it will execute in 1 second. So it is very simple. Just you need to come here. You need to write the function set interval. And then which function I want to call? I want to call the show time, comma. I want to call it every 1 second. So now I can come here. I can check out my browser. Okay, I got this. Time is updating continuously. Here we are also getting this time. We can remove this time with the, I don't want this console statement. Here also, I don't want any console statement. If we come here, see, the time is keep updating. So this is a simple project of digital clock. Next, you can do the styling. You can use a big clock in between. You can display, you can use background images, all these things, designing part. I'll just make a basic design. For designing, I can just come here. I can just write a style tag. Okay. I believe we wrote the wrong tag. We need to write style tag. Inside the style tag, I am just styling the body element. Body element, I can just write display flex, justify content center, align item center. Okay. I can give a background color. Background color. Okay. I don't need this BG color. I can just have the simple, we can say a basic background color. Okay. We can have this. Okay. To make it exactly in center, we need to use one property called height 100 VH. So it is exactly in the center. This is the current time. Above it, you can just write one more text if you wish. You can just write one more H1 tag. We can say current time is, you can say this way, or else you can use the span tag. Current time is this much. So other things you can just use, you can use an image to store this way time, and you can just give the borders and all this. You can make a image. This is a simple project of the digital clock. So I end this video with here.